It is to the liberal arts curriculum that we look for most of our leadership in a democratic society. The quality of the education, therefore, has a great deal to do with the quality of our leadership and with the continuing implementation of our ideals. We must look to colleges like Gustavus Adolphus for men and women with humane values, with a high regard for the truth in its pursuit, with a firm feeling for the central place of the individual and his freedom, with a mind adapted to widening horizons, and with a capacity to perceive and preserve substantive values in a world of constant change. I congratulate President Carlson and Gustavus Adolphus College on a memorial that has broad value as an American symbol of those ideals and as a perpetual living instrument of the higher aspirations of mankind. Thank you very much.
The Nobel Conference really came about following the dedication of the Nobel Hall of Science in 1963. This was dedicated as the American memorial to Alfred Nobel. And during the course of these ceremonies, I believe it was Ralph Bunche in his closing talk, mentioned that it would be a good idea to have a perpetual living memorial to Alfred Nobel in the form of a conference that would be held every year. And as a result of this, some of the scientists who attended the original dedication of that building gathered and formed sort of an unofficial committee to advise the college. We started out as a conference primarily planned by Nobel Prize winners in the natural sciences. So our topics have tended to be gravitating towards the natural sciences. We've remained pretty true to that. And what we've tried to do, and I think what we've been pretty successful at, is we try to bring real science to real people, so to speak. That this is cutting-edge science. It's the real thing. On the other hand, these scientists are doing their very best to explain this to real people and to do it in a way that provokes thought in them and also elicits comments from our audience that will provoke thought amongst our panelists, perhaps causing them to think about things that they had never thought about before. I think part of the reason why it's so important to continue this dialogue is that there seem to be so relatively few venues where this takes place, where we can actually have a discussion between eminent scientists talking about their work and an audience of interested adults and students, where we can carry on a dialogue, where we can talk about not only the discoveries, but also about the impact of that work on society at large. One of the things that absolutely amazes me about this conference is that it seems like every week I get an email from somebody who tells me that they've been to 5, 10, 20, 25 Nobel conferences. And I think the thing that all of these people have in common is that these are individuals who still have a burning desire to learn. And we talk rather glibly sometimes about lifelong learning. And clearly, the individuals who come to this conference take this very much to heart. This is something that they're very interested in.
Gustavus is involved in the Nobel Conference because it's a very distinctive opportunity. It's a distinctive opportunity for the college to showcase a lot of what it is for people coming down to campus. That's important to us. It's an important opportunity to showcase science and the relationship between science and religion, and science and theology, which is always woven into the Nobel Conference as well. So there's a relationship here between the sciences and theology, between reason and faith, that we talk about a lot here on this campus. But the conference elevates that to a very high level with the presence of people coming from outside who really add a lot to what we already have here. Another relationship that's important to us is with the Nobel Foundation. We are approved by the foundation to carry the Nobel name here as this conference. That's one of the reasons we want to make sure it's of the high quality and the excellence. So we maintain that very strong tie with the foundation and with our Swedish roots. This was, after all, a college founded by Swedes early on. And while we're much more diverse than we ever have been before, now that tie to Sweden today as well as to our history is important to us, and the foundation and this conference represents a way to do that for us as well. I think the best part of the conference for me is to watch and be a part of the exchange of ideas. The exchange of ideas between the scientists and their audience, but also between the scientists themselves and the theologians. How do they look at the same topic from different perspectives? And their discussions during the course of these sessions, I think, is absolutely marvelous. It's one of the things that I appreciate most in the conference. The college is committed to maintaining a high-quality conference. That's important to us. It's important to the people who come here to experience the conference. We will continue to maintain that excellence, that sense of excellence about this conference. It's good for the college, it's good for the audience who's coming, and it's good for future generations as we move the conference, not only having a presence here on campus, but as we begin to move it outside the campus and share those ideas with more and more people into the future. It is clear to us here at the college that the Nobel Conference will continue on strongly. We believe in what it accomplishes for the college. We believe in what it does for the students and for the others who come here to attend. It's a very high-quality event. It's something that we feel strongly about and with regard to its value, and we're going to keep doing it really well as we move into the future.